Welcome to Yankton Area Arts 2020 Year in Review. The year started out with big goals and big dreams. Our education committee set a goal of hosting one Artist Unleashed class each month of the year. The Art Adventure team was in their final year of art classes at the elementary schools, and the students were having a blast learning new techniques. Our exhibit calendar was full, and so were our artist receptions. We were in the middle of our annual youth exhibit featuring Yankton High School students when everything changed. We immediately pivoted on March 13 to create a virtual exhibit of all the items on display in the gallery and post them on our newly created YouTube page. When students and teachers began virtual learning, I had the good fortune of interviewing Amy Miner's dramatic literature class and was able to record their production Inside Voices. The play was a series of monologues written by the seniors on their experiences with the pandemic. That interview and production has been viewed on our YouTube page over 400 times. Although we were temporarily closed, we continued our work and mission of education, advocacy, arts integration, and cultural enrichment. We awarded our 50th high school scholarship to Brett Buskell, who is studying vocal music education at the University of South Dakota. Additionally, we awarded our third educator scholarship to YHS teacher Cassie Peets. Let's hear how Cassie is doing.
Hi, Cassie Peets here. I was awarded the Yankton Area Arts Educator Scholarship, and I just wanted to check in with everybody and let you know what I did with the scholarship. I actually used it to take 2 book study courses. The first one was the Wild Card, and the second one was Learning Unleashed. And they talked about a lot of different ways to keep students involved and engaged in the classroom. And so I just used them the best that I could. This year, I have a lot of ideas for things going forward once we can get through this pandemic, where I can have more kids in my room in smaller spaces and things like that, working in different groups. But for now, I was able to find some ways to kind of add more art and more creativity to my classroom. One of those ways was in my nonfiction literature class. The students create what we call 20% time projects, where they focus on a project that is solely based on their own interests. And it's not rooted in any books or anything like that we read for the class. It's just based on what are they interested, what do they want to learn more about. And I had them create mission patches, which were actually inspired by a NASA teaching education, continuing education course that I took. And that was kind of the one takeaway I was able to get from it. Was mainly geared towards like science and math. But I was able to get this idea for having my students create mission patches. And so basically creating a visual representation of their project using symbolism, some words and images to just get people interested and understand what the project is visually without a verbal explanation. And so I had my students do that last semester and this semester as well, where they created a 4x4 patch that had those symbols that showed what their project was. I've also tried to incorporate the use of more paintings and music in my classroom, as far as we've done some things with annotating song lyrics. Instead of just looking at traditional poetry or traditional literature, we've looked at like song lyrics and things like that. And also I've talked to my students a lot about how do you talk about art, because I think that students don't know how to do that. And so we've talked about how to talk about paintings or photographs. And they've learned a lot about that process too. So I've tried to do as much as I can to add creativity to my classroom. And I just want to say thank you so much for the scholarship.
Cassie has done a great job incorporating math, science, and art into her literature classes. While most of YAA's summer programming was canceled due to the pandemic, our team came up with a fun substitution for our annual Meridian en Blanc fundraiser we called Meridian at Home. Those who purchased tickets drove through to pick up a delicious summertime meal they could enjoy at home, in a park, or, like one couple, on their boat at the lake. Patrons really got into the swing of things and participated in some of our favorite traditions, like waving of the napkins. YAA asked participants to put the art in party by creating the word art with objects they found around them, and boy did they deliver. Our gallery opened back up in the summer with our annual Mighty Mo photo show. We continue to host virtual exhibits on YouTube for those who don't feel comfortable attending in person. We have also been hosting our receptions live on Facebook. We know not all our patrons have Facebook. When we reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers, we'll be able to host there. In the fall, we partnered with the City Parks Department and United Way to create Yankton's first Born Learning Trail. With the creativity and hard work of our local Connecting Artists group, we have begun installation on the park and hope to have it completed by summer. In December, we celebrated our 15th annual Crimson Door Holiday Boutique by creating a Yankton puzzle. These are still available in our gallery gift shop. While we made the most of 2020, it was a tough year for our organization financially. In this graph, you can see the difference in income from 2018 in blue to 2019 in orange and 2020 in gray. We were able to secure some CARES Act funding and are extremely grateful for the additional one-time donations we received from our patrons. In 2021, we are focusing on longevity. We have occupied our building, the GAR Hall, for over 20 years, and it's starting to show some wear and tear. We will be seeking funds to help us update our precious home. As you can see, the back door has some integrity issues and is pulling apart at the seams. The front doors have really been deteriorating. Not only are the doors coming apart at the seams, they have rot in the bottom from water that sits in the entryway when it rains or when the snow melts. Not only do we need to replace the front doors, but we'll need to do something about the water sitting in the entryway. Additionally, the sign in the front of the building is also rotting and will need an upgrade. With all the rain Yankton has seen in the last couple of years, GAR Hall was not spared. The basement has had some water and mold issues. This wonderful deck will need to be pulled off, and at some point, tuck pointing work must be done around the building. It will be a great opportunity to power wash the ramp, fix some of the broken or warped boards, and reseal it. Never fear, we have some great things in store for 2021 as well, including a fantastic exhibit calendar, a bird watching class in April with Roger Dietrich, Kids Art Camp coming this summer, Kids Art Fest June 1st, our summer concert series, which we missed so much last year, our Meridian en Blanc scheduled for July 17th, the Summer Arts Festival slated for August 20th through 22nd, the Art Market at Harvest Halloween, Tour of Homes. Thank you for supporting the arts. Remember to follow us at yanktonareaarts.org and on our social media.